So I've just done my shopping, and because this is not my bike, it doesn't have a top box, but the NC750X does have a nice little trick up its sleeve. So as you can see, it's not got a normal tank, there's no fuel filler here. If you get the key in there, hopefully it opens. Got a box. So let's see if my shopping can fit in this. My helmet won't. It's going to be tight. Pringles might just not make it. Oh, it's tight. But it got in there. It's better than nothing, isn't it? And then the fuel filler cap, yeah, turn it this way, is underneath there. So you got this little, like you would in the car, to hold it up. Fuel filler here, and start the fuel tank by the looks of it there. A little bit of space there for a little bit of
Right, so I've just got off the telephone with the insurance company, and my TDM, my lovely TDM 900 is now being written off, so they're going to give me a payout for that. I asked them how much it would be to buy it back, because I wouldn't mind my TDM back, because it was a really good bike, and they're saying £850 to buy my bike back. And to be honest, with the mileage and the damage that's happened in the last accident, it's not worth £850, considering it's now a write-off, so it'll be listed as a write-off on the registration document. So I would have bought it back if they said, oh yeah, you know, give us 250 quid, we'll, you know, do you a little shaky. But no, I'm going to take the money and buy something different. So we're back out on the NC750, this strange little bike from Honda. And I haven't really ridden it, only the other day when I took it out once. I thought, you know, I might as well go out and see what's about. See what this bike's all around. So what I'm aware, this is a 750cc twin with about 50 horsepower. It's got some unusual looks to it. It's quite an unusual bike. And I believe this also is available with the DCS automatic gearbox. Yeah, but this is a manual version. I might be completely wrong, but you know, I'm going to stick with what I'm saying here. But this is the manual version. So when they first brought this bike out, I thought, oh my god, is it one of those automatic things? And I was a bit worried about it being automatic. But now I've got this here. It's manual, it's not too bad. And I kind of, now I know this isn't manual, I wanted to try the automatic, I wanted to see what it's all about. You know, because technology moves on, I wouldn't mind trying something different. So, we're just driving about 52 miles an hour here. It's very windy. I'm getting hit right in the chest with wind, so this little windscreen over the front here is not doing very much for anything. It almost feels like I'm riding a naked bike. You know, there's hardly anything in front of the handlebars here. So these bikes come with ABS as standard. It's got a medium seat height, just over 800mm, so it's very similar to my TDM in height. And it's one of those new kind of dual sport bikes that seem to have become popular now. Honda's started doing a few of them. I mean, they've got the VFR Cross Tourer and bikes like that. But this is sort of their little baby adventure bike. The 750, and to be honest, it's got less horsepower than my TDM. I think this is around the 50 horsepower mark, and the TDM was like 80 odd horsepower. But it's not too bad. It hasn't got torque. It's not got power to punch you out of there. You're not going to scream away on it. It doesn't rev very high. But I believe it's more geared for around town, so it's more fuel efficient. And it does lean into these corners quite nice. The mirrors are nicely sized, good proportion on them. Oh yeah, it has got 6 gears. So it's got 6 gears there, all tucked in that gearbox. I'm totally scared of being hit off the bike now. I'm paranoid. Every one of these fuckers is going to try and kill me. Like this guy in the van, he's thinking there's a bike, I'm going to take him out as well. Yeah, so you changed lanes behind me. Knew he was thinking it. I mean, so far, what I have noticed about this bike, the power delivery is quite smooth. It does bring on the power nice. There's not much of the power to go around mine, but it does bring on the power nice and smoothly. You know, it's not jerking you about. It's a very forgiving bike. I mean, definitely, if you're looking for a first bike, your first big bike, this is definitely a contender. I mean, I would have loved this as my first bike. My first bike was my first big bike was a Yamaha Diversion 600S, and well, the Sector 2 in America. And this was that bike was amazing. I loved it. But if I had this bike and I had the money to get this bike, which I didn't at the time, I would have got something like this, because it's an adventure bike. It's a little baby adventure bike. It's not going to absolutely destroy your ass on insurance. And I'm quite sure they probably have some limiting kits on these that you can. I don't know. It's 50 horsepower. What's the limit for an A2 license? I'm quite sure you can do something with this for an A2 license. It does feel solid panting in the road. The suspension is a little bit more aggressive than I expected. I thought for an adventure bike it'd be a lot softer, but the suspension on this is quite aggressive, but not uncomfortable. I'm sure if you're going down some dirt track or something, which I definitely wouldn't recommend on a bike like this, it would do your ass in. But so I wouldn't mind something like this with a bit more fairing, a bit more going on in front of me, because I like knowing there's more in front. I like seeing in front of me. I like the big screen. I like the big fairing. I like all that kind of stuff. The sitting position's quite nice, and I'm quite happily taxi driver on his mobile phone. Yeah, I'm quite happily just sat here, elbows bent. I'm not straining myself. I'm in a nice upright position. I'm quite comfortable, even though the seat is a little bit hard. So I'm sure there's probably options for softer gel seats. But other than that, it's quite a comfy position. Also, still trying to get used to the gears here. It seems that you have to really give it a big lift and a click, and a big lift and a click to go through the gears. Where on other bikes, it's quite short. It's quite a short shift. But on this bad boy, it's you need to really bend your foot. See what happens. So I see what I mean. Fucking cars after me today. So we're up to 65 in 6th gear here, and obviously this is a dual carriageway, so it is 70 miles an hour down here. And if I bring it back down to 60 and then go full throttle, there's not much there, not much to give. I'm getting hungry. I want something to eat. I need some lunch. Oh, I got fish and chips. Oh yes. Or maybe just chips. I could go for just chips. Right, here we are. What we're going to have. I like that bike over there with the green wheels. That's very nice. That is a really nice bike. Oh, look at that. Tell you what, would not mind one of those. Still, I'm really into the Tracer. With the MT10. Oof, look at that. It's a nice bike. Oh, I wouldn't mind a Tracer though. Really enjoyed riding that bike.